guys could see. I mean, you guys have noticed that we have some amazing people involved in Kiani. Do you guys agree with that? And it doesn't matter race or religion. We have some tall people, we have some short people, we have some heavier, we have some skinny, we have some beautiful people. And I see a lot of them here today. Luckily, none of the ugly ones showed up this weekend. So, just beautiful people. It's been so fun. I've had a blast listening to all the trainers. For so many, this is my first chance to hear a lot of the trainers that were here this weekend, and I've really enjoyed every second. Will you guys help me and just thank them for the positive environment that they've all created as well. And a special congratulations to Brandon and Judy. From someone who's been married for almost 23 years, there's just nothing better. Congratulations, you guys. Congrats. I get to talk a little bit about being positive, which is easy for us to do while we're here at convention. Everybody's in a good mood, everybody's happy, but what happens when we actually leave here this weekend and we run into an Uber guy that's not in a good mood? How do we react? I will tell you this, the more promotions you have in Kiani, the more people are watching you. And if you don't get a hold of your attitude now, that's definitely going to reflect down the road. And law of attraction, who follows you and who doesn't. Because as much as we want to make this opportunity about the product, and we want to make it about the comp plan, which by the way, there's nothing better, don't get me wrong, they're phenomenal things. But when we do presentations, the presentation has to make sense. The product has to make sense. The opportunity has to make sense. But where people say yes or no is because they like you. And as hard as that is to grasp, and sometimes how painful that is to get over when somebody says no, people follow people, they don't follow opportunities. So it's up to us to become the person that we would want to follow before we ask other people to follow. Does that make sense, you guys? So let's talk about how we change that. Because if you decided to be a part of Kiani thinking you weren't going to have to change anything, guess what? You were wrong. The one thing you can count on in this opportunity is that there's going to be change all along the way. You're going to have to change sometimes how you talk. You might have to change how you dress. You might have to change how you respond to things. And this is a great platform to start with and going down that journey. And it's a lifelong journey. It's not like this happens overnight. This is something you decide to do, and over the next course of 20, 30, 50, hopefully 80 years, you're still perfecting these concepts. So, talking about attitude, it's not the only thing, but it's definitely the main thing in becoming who you want to be, is how you respond to things. Your attitude is a choice, it's not a response. Meaning you wake up every day, you make a conscious decision to either be productive or make excuses. You make a conscious decision to be kind or to be in a bad mood. You're a reflective force, even though people come at you, you have full control of your emotions, your actions, your decisions. And it really is a reflection of your character on how you respond to things, not what happens to you. Can you imagine if we were judged on this lifetime of how many bad things happen to us? Some of us would be in a lot of trouble. We're not. It's based off of how you handle those things. It's how many times you get knocked down, that's great. But nobody cares about that. They count how many times you get back up. And that clock starts this weekend. We want you to make eye contact with people. There's no better way to connect with people than by looking at them. Pay attention to them. Let them know they're the most important thing at that moment. It's the best way to connect with people. Smiling is also a nice thing. By the end of an event, your face should hurt from smiling so much. You should find muscles that you didn't know existed from that. How many times have we been to a training event and somebody says, you need to be excited? How many of you have heard that before? You need to get excited. In fact, I think you guys should be more excited than you are right now, actually. How many times have you looked around and saw someone that thought they were excited, but nobody else knew they were excited? Yes? My recommendation is for them to tell their face they're excited. Nothing will change how you feel, how you interact better than a smile. How many of us have been in an elevator this weekend? How many of you got in the elevator and you do like like a little duck walk to the corner. The doors close, and this is what we all do. We look up at the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't even look around, and there's like 20 other people in the elevator with us. I challenge you to never look at those numbers again. Make eye contact, smile, comment somebody, compliment, start a conversation. There's a good chance they're in Anaheim, they might be here for Disneyland. Learn how to connect. It doesn't mean it might go somewhere, it's just creating the habits. It's creating the foundation of who you are and who you want to be. Serve others. There is no better way to figure out who you are and what you're capable of by losing yourself in the service of other people. And Kyani has created the best platform to be able to do that. Not only in the purpose of Kyani Caring Hands, but of building a business, but of changing our communities with the products that we have at our fingertips. I ask you a question. Are you only friendly to people if they're friendly to you? Is that the decision that we make? I would say most people in the world, that's how they feel. As long as everybody's nice to them, they'll keep that little anger person out inside of them, and then they'll respond the way they think they need to. I would challenge you that even when people are in a bad mood, take it as a challenge to flip that. Turn that frown upside down, right? Create the smile. Make someone's day, figure out how to put a smile on their face. Because there's nothing more powerful than having a positive impact on other people. By the way, you exert more energy trying to be negative than positive. Even the muscles in your face, it takes more to frown than to smile. It takes more to react in an angry way than to calm yourself and find a way to handle a situation. Law of association, this has to do with your attitude as well. You are a direct reflection of the 5 people you hang out with the most. Your health, your income, your attitude are all determined by the people around you. So think about the people you hang out with the most. If you are the most influential person in that group, you've got a problem. It's time to start making new friends, which will be difficult. How many of us have heard misery loves company? I believe that. You know what I believe more? Misery hates to lose company. Because when you start to grow as a person, when you start to grow out of your peers' income bracket, when you start to expect more of yourself, it's uncomfortable for people to watch that and they haven't made the decision themselves yet. They don't want to lose that company because you've all been in your little group before. And now they're going to have to be looking at themselves on what they would have to change in their life. The most significant factor of any person's environment are the people. Where they're headed, and wherever they're headed, so are you. It's kind of hard to think about, right? If you're always at the head of the class, you're in the wrong class. It's time to surround yourself with people that encourage you, that are excited for you, that are your biggest cheerleaders. And there's no better place to do that than in an event like this, than in a Kyani presentation, than in a PBR, than in an opportunity meeting. You have people on your side that you've never even met before. Because when you win, we win. When you win, Kyani wins. This isn't like corporate America, where there's only one position at the top. With CEO, you gotta wait for someone to die or move or be indicted to move up the ladder. That's not Kyani. Do you know every person in this room could be a black diamond? You can be. Whether you will be is up to you. We don't decide that. Kyani doesn't decide it. You today get to make that choice, and then you have to start acting every single day to make that actually happen. The easiest way, and I think it is, it's easy to be positive when you're excited. Do you guys agree? Yeah. So what do you have to do to keep yourself excited? Whatever it takes. That's exactly right. What happens when I leave the house and I've literally just had an argument with my 16-year-old and I've got to do an opportunity meeting in downtown Salt Lake? Am I going to walk into that room and ruin everybody's opportunity because of my own baggage? My own problems? Or am I going to put my big girl pants on and get to work? That's a choice I have to make every single day as well. If you want average dreams, do what average people do. If you want an average business, do what average business people do. If you want to take yourself and your business and your friends and your family and this entire arena to a next level, it's time to start thinking a little bigger. I like to play a little game with myself as well. I even went to the extreme when I'm in a bad mood, because we're all human, we have emotions, I have days, we all do. But when I get that way, I quickly check myself. And if I don't, I'm married to an incredible man that knows how to do that for me as well. In fact, 23 years, we know how to not only love each other, but we can push each other's buttons just a little bit. And when I'm in a bad mood, there's been times before, especially the first couple of years in Kyani, you know, when we could have been like, oh, I don't know if I can take this anymore. I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm just done with network marketing. And there was one moment that actually got pretty bad where I was down on myself. I didn't even have to do anything with Kyani. It was about myself. And my husband knows me well enough to know. All he had to do was look at me and said, you know what? You're right. You should quit. Like, excuse me? Did you just say quit to me? Yeah, you should quit. I know you want to. You should just quit. And that was all it took, was that word. Because quitting is not an option.
Quitting is not an option.
You quit on Kyani, the only thing you're quitting on is yourself.
Yes.
Your kids, your family. So we took it to the next level. Some of you have seen this video before, but I'd love to play a video for you that I made. And I appreciate the fact that other people like it and they watch it, but I promise you, for purely selfish reasons, I watch this every single day. So if we could show that video, I'd love to share it with you. There will never be a point in your life when it's time to become the greatest version of you. If you're waiting for that perfect moment, it's never going to happen. Only you can make that change. No one else can do it for you. If you want something different, you must do something different. The real question is, how bad do you want it? Greatness is simple. Greatness is a lot of small things done well. Day after day, week after week, month after month. One bad habit you developed may be the difference between success and failure. Maybe your habit is procrastination. Maybe it's making excuses. While we can't deny the struggles and setbacks, we can deny their ability to hold us back. That which we persist in doing becomes easier for us to do. Not that the nature of the task has changed, but that our desire to do it has increased. Every team needs great players, but average players who plug into a great system with a great coach can be champions. Whether you see yourself as the great player or the average player, it doesn't make a difference. Perseverance is your secret weapon. But you have to want it. You have to want it so badly that you would be willing to work day and night for it. Give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it. Dream and scheme about it. You have to want it so bad that life seems worthless without it. The strongest oak tree of the forest is not the one that's protected from the storm and hidden from the sun. It's the one that stands in the open, where it's compelled to struggle for its existence against the winds and rains and the scorching sun. The time is now. The place is here. You've got to start saying yes to your dreams, yes to your potential, and yes to the opportunity of a lifetime. All you have to do is act as if it were impossible to fail. You don't need anyone's permission to become successful. You've shown up. Kyani will give you the path to achieve greatness. Set high expectations of yourself. Expect to be the hardest working distributor in your team. Expect to make the biggest sacrifices. And then expect the greatest rewards. I knew a stay-at-home mom who had no business being in business. I knew a young man who had to make tough choices in life. Stay in school or feed his family. I knew a school teacher with a heart of gold and no bullshit. Who do you know? Who told you you couldn't have it all? When did you start believing them? There's no lack of people in this world with hopes and dreams, but what they do lack is a plan. Kyani is the plan. There is no failure in Kyani. You either succeed or you quit. Never quit on your dreams because of the amount of time it will take to accomplish them. That time will pass no matter what. What will you have to show for it? every single day to keep that fire inside of you. This fire, that fire you feel today cannot burn out. It cannot die down. If you want to accomplish the things that you know you are capable of, you got to feed your passion. The skill set will come. If all you do is promise yourself to never miss a training event, you will figure out how to master getting customers. You will figure out how to master presenting. You will be able to how to rock the stage like nobody else. Even if all of those fears are inside of you, they will go away. All you have to do is feed your passion. You got to figure out how to be the best motivator of yourself. And by default, everyone else will feed from that fire. Fair? So this is what we do to feed your passion. What can you accomplish when you're excited? Everything. Every professional athlete, every successful businessman, everyone understands this, that lives on that greatness level. That you need to have that determination that the average person thinks is insane. You've got to live that life that people look at you like you are crazy. And be okay with it. Understand that you know something that they don't. You have something that they don't. You have a miracle in your mouth and all you have to do is open it. Start sharing what Kayani has for the world. Passion comes before profit. How easy is it to say, hey, I'll wait to go to convention until I'm making good money. Hey, wait, I will do, but show me first. That is the whole world. We are looking for champions, and I love the fact that we've gotten to a point we can fill an arena full of champions, because here's what you guys said. Instead of the rest of the world that says, show me and I'll go do, you being here said, no, I'll do and I'll go show the world. You made that decision. You're here today. Those with passion do, those without, they try. Passion is a willingness to suffer for what you want most. How many of us left our children to be here this weekend? How many of us, those children are your actual why that you do the business? Do not let your reason why you do the business be the same reason why not to do the business. Because how many of us had distributors that said, no, I can't go, my child has a baseball game, I'm not willing to miss a baseball game. Well, great, you missed that one baseball game, and I'm going to go to the event, and next year I'm going to sponsor my kid's baseball team, and we're going to travel the country, and we're going to do exactly what we're going to do. And then I want to make sure that same kid chooses what college he can go to, not decide what one we can afford to send him to. That's another choice that you'll make. When you know the why of your existence, you'll be able to bear almost any how. I promise you, we've had every struggle you can possibly imagine. We've had the ups, we've had the downs. We've had the family on board, the family not on board. We've had the friends that poo-poo everything we do. We've had their support. We've had all of those things same happen. But I can guarantee you this, as painful as those situations were, you get to Black Diamond, you live that lifestyle, you won't remember any of it. It's a blur. Life is too good to worry about those things anymore. Now you feel sorry for the people that didn't catch the vision. You feel bad for people that can't see outside of their own box. You love them all, and you pray for them all as well. Know your why, you guys. We've talked a lot about that this weekend, and there's a reason. It's important. Know what you're working for. If all you're doing is working and working, and then actually life comes at you and hits you with a real problem, it's going to be very easy to get distracted. It's going to be easy to put Kayani on the back burner. But I can guarantee you, if you have no question why you're doing this business, if your why is so strong, it will make you cry. You understand it. If it drives you nuts to see the rubies and the emeralds crossing the stage because you're not one of them, you use that for fuel and you feed that fire every single time you see that. You cheer for everybody else, but in the back of your mind, you're mad. You're annoyed. Use it as fuel. You either use it as a way to handicap yourself or you use it as fuel. Pour that gasoline on that fire. Your belief has to be bigger than the average person. If you understand your value, you'll never doubt your potential. And I want you to soak that in. When you truly understand your value, your capability, you will never doubt your potential. You become, just as Miss Kenley talked about, bulletproof. And wouldn't all of us love to walk out of this door and have an Angel of Air in our back pocket every time we run into somebody? Somebody's like, what do you do for a living? You pull out Angel, and he closes everybody for you, right? It's not what you say, it's how you say it. You better walk into every room already knowing how a conversation is going to go. Because if not, you either sell them on how great Kyani is, or they're going to sell you on why not to do Kyani. And if you haven't made that decision up front and in full before you start that conversation, you've lost before you started. Today, that decision has to be made. Everyday reminders, you guys. Find a way. Dream boards, the videos, whatever you have to do. Do not let a day go by without feeding your why and reminding you why you do this business. This is why I do this business. These are my 3 beautiful kids. When I started in this industry, the 2 older were 3 and 5 years old. And it was hard. I still remember my parents even telling me, why are you doing this? Your husband makes a 6-figure-a-year income. You should be grateful for what you have. Why do you want to leave your kids on a weekend to go to this event? You're not even making the money that you keep talking about to everybody that they're making. Why are you not here? Are you sure this is what you want to do? They didn't have the vision that I did yet, but they hadn't seen what I'd seen. And when I look at those faces, I wanted to see their potential. I never wanted to have money be an issue of why we couldn't take them across the world, why we couldn't help them accomplish their dreams, why we couldn't show them what a passion looks like. Is there any better environment for your children than Kyani? Is there any better way to teach them what passion looks like than for you to live it? To show them that going after your goals and your dreams is a great thing, not something you should hide under a bushel, but to shout from the mountaintops. These 3 understand it. All 3, even my 4-year-old knows how to do a presentation. What's your excuse? This has been my why. My husband and I mean, nothing is more precious to us than these 3. Now, after this weekend, some of you might have a different why.
Becky.
Yes.
Becky, you're stealing my material.
We're network marketers. We copy duplicate. Sorry, Chad. Couldn't help myself. We lift others. That's something you need to be very, very conscious of. You cannot. How many of you guys have been on an airplane to get here? How many of you had to sit through the flight attendant saying, if by chance, which we hope doesn't happen, we lose oxygen, the masks will fall from the ceiling. Make sure to put one on yourself before helping others. How many of you guys have heard this about 10 billion times, right? Same thing with Kyani. You cannot get somebody else to diamond unless you get there first. You cannot become a black diamond unless you get there first. It is way easier to help people up than to push from behind. It doesn't work. Just law of physics. It doesn't work out. You've got to be the example, live the example. And it's hard. For those of you in the room that your motivation is other people more than yourself, it's not comfortable for you to talk about yourself. It's not comfortable for you to be the center of attention. Understand this concept. Live it, breathe it, go out and share it. You get there so that you can help the masses. Because if your goal is to fill an arena like this, you better get to Diamond tomorrow. You better make that happen. You got to create your own success story, and then you can spend all of your time helping other people. Your goal someday, and my why has become so great. I mean, it has expanded to all areas of the world. But at the same time, I get to wake up every day. I no longer have to worry about money, and I get to focus on everybody else's dreams. It's the best feeling in the world. And I hope you all get a chance to experience that as well. Leave people better for having met you. What a great talent. What a great characteristic. I feel that way every time I'm with the founders of Kyani, when I'm with Michael Brashears and with the cabinet. They are the kind of people that not only could you pattern your Kyani business after, you can pattern your life after. These people right here, if you will stand on your feet and help me tell them how much I appreciate them and everything they've done for Kyani. These are the heroes of Kyani. guys, if you need someone to bet on, you can bet on Mr. Kirk Hansen 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. That man will show up. He will deliver. He is the captain of this ship, and there is no one better equipped to make Kyani and create that billion-dollar-a-year company that we're so close to achieving. How you treat others is a reflection of how you feel about yourself. So start treating others big. Start being that person that you would want to follow. Go out of your way to find ways to be kind, to have that reflection come back to you. Because I don't know if you've ever been in a situation. I grew up in a household, there were 5 of us. All 5 of us within 7 years. Bless my mom's heart. I don't remember a time when she was not pregnant, quite honestly. 5 of us in 7 years. And we all grew up really close. We've all been best friends our whole entire lives. But we also could get on top of each other like you wouldn't believe. But we learned how to treat each other big. And my mom used to say, when we used to get in fights, this is how we always won. If you can walk away, you are the bigger person. And so we literally would find a way anytime we could to walk away. They'd be like, no, you can't walk away, I'm walking away. Right? I'm the bigger person. Watch me, this is me walking away. I challenge you to be the bigger person in every situation. As a leader, we don't show worry, we don't show doubt, hurt, anger, frustration. It doesn't happen. You gotta figure out, take a kickboxing class, let it out then. Figure out a way to become that person and attract the masses. And I promise you, you'll get to a point where it won't matter who it is. It could be a president of a country. It could be the ambassador of a country. You're not nervous to share Kyani with anyone. You know what you have. And you know what you're capable of. And that posture shows up, that confidence shows up, that plan shows up. I dare someone to tell me no. You stick around in this environment long enough, you will have that. You don't quit on yourself, you don't quit on your dreams, you make things happen. You start to change what life is supposed to look like. One of my favorite women, one of the most beautiful women in the world, and one of my favorite quotes. Sorry, if we can go back. How many of you guys know who Miss Maya Angelou is? If you don't, you should. I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. How many of you guys will never forget how you feel right now? There is power in positivity. There is power in purpose. There is power in Kyani. I live Kyani. I'm a black diamond. You're a black diamond in the making. We just need to get the customers and the volume to show up, you guys. It's time to support each other on another level that we've never seen before. We love you. We appreciate you. We can't wait to get to work. Thank you guys. Have a beautiful weekend.
Becky Bursell.